Hi everyone, my name is Willie from John Hu Migration. I'd like to give you an update on the latest in the Australian migration announcements that were done this week. So of course there was the budget release, which had great insights on what's upcoming in terms of migration policy, and also the migration levels that were released just yesterday. Okay, so let me, I've got the two papers, of course, they're very large documents, but I'll skip to the main and kind of information that is relevant to us. Okay, so you can see here, on page 23 at the bottom, of course, the migration strategy, which was released at, kind of this December, at the end of last year, the budget does support the fact that, skills in demand, and also with around 70% of the PR migration program allocated to the skill category. So very much so the theme has not changed. The migration department is very much focused on skill migration. There will be, and this was also something that was, known to us, was there will be a new national innovation visa, which will replace the golden talent visa and the BIIP, which is the business innovation investment visa. So this visa, there's later kind of wording on it later on, will come in effect late this year, late 2024, and will replace the golden, the global talent visa, the 858, and also the 188. But nevertheless, the 188, even though technically it was still, it's still running, but there hasn't been any new nominations, right? So there hasn't been any new applicants been able to go in for the last 2 years. They did say that this new national innovation visa at the bottom complements and reforms being developed for the points test used for certain visa, skilled visa. Mainly, the interpretation here is this new visa is for applicants who may not meet the requirements of the points test system, may not, whether it be the new system that we proposed or the current one, like the 189, 190, 491. This visa will be, for the categories, or whether it be age, whether it be experience, it'll be people who will not be competitive in this points test visas can consider this new national innovation visa. Yeah, there's also a lot of press on the net overseas migration levels halving, which is, of course, a lot of kind of publication using this as a headline. I think, the takeaway here is, this net overseas migration number, you can see halving, right? So from over 500,000 last year to then next year, 2,600,000. It is a significant drop, but I can say that this number, net overseas migration number, includes both permanent visas and temporary visas. And the majority of the, of how it's going to be reduced, it's really going to be, the bulk of it, the majority of it is going to be due to the student visa and the change visa. I mean, very much so, we won't go too much into the student visa in this recording, but very much so, student visa cap, and the enrollments tied to the student accommodation ratio, that is going to get, that is going to kind of be the main driver of this drop in net overseas migration number. Okay, so here, the forecast, and this is kind of a new way of the budget or the DHA is going to start announcing is more kind of this forecasted net migration number. You can see from 528 last year to this year 395, and then the step down, next year in 2024-25, and then the year after that, 25-26. It is a very, as we said, a significant drop in the net overseas migration. However, later on you'll see in the skilled visa, which includes the new innovation visa, there's actually not much of a change, and this drop will be mainly due to the capping of the international student visa. Okay, so here, also a relevant section to talk about is, this new National Innovation Visa replacing Global Talent 858. This has, provides a little bit more detail from late 2024. There's some cross-reference to other websites where I'm seeing November 2024 as a time point. So, very much so here, it would be a last call for the global talent visa, if that's the case. We are in May. I'm seeing some reference dates to November, so we do have 6 months to go. And then the new visa targeting, it says here, exceptionally targeted, talented migrants, right, who drive targeted sectors and growth sectors. Interestingly, with 188, a lot of our clients who currently hold the 188 visa, they're asking if any of the announcements do affect them. Here is very interesting. The government is offering a refund for those who have already applied and have are in the process of being processed, right? So it's interesting here, but I think the key differentiation is it's up to the applicant or the visa applicant to withdraw or not withdraw. Right, and it does say that later on there's some wording. If you don't withdraw, they will still honor the processing of the visa, of the 188 visa. But of course, if someone is currently who applied the 188 visa 2 years ago and is currently waiting, if they see that the new National Innovation Visa is better for them, or they rather go through that route, then they can withdraw their BIP 188 visa and apply for the new one, which is quite an interesting way of, interesting way that the government has put out, right? Another change, which is quite interesting, is, the 482 TSS visa. The work experience there has dropped from 2 years to 1 year. So this is quite interesting because definitely if the requirement is only 1 year, an applicant can possibly acquire these skills now in anticipation and kind of accumulate 1 year worth of experience before applying. So the TSS visa is a quite an interesting change there, but it does require an employment sponsor before application. And then going through, and this is the website. I've just printed it out, but this is the government website that was updated yesterday. You can see, as I said, the overall total skilled migration program remains pretty much the same, right? 190,000 level to 185. Some key changes in the subcategories. There was a step up in the employment sponsored visas. The skilled independent, this is the 189 visa, has gone down in quota. Where else? The regional and also the state sponsored, you can see there are 33,000, very much, just slight changes, or if not, pretty much the same. That is the 190491 visa, very much the same. The BIP quota, went from 1,900 to 1,000. So this is only processing visas that's already been submitted, right? So there will be no more new applications. And then the global talent visa, the quota went from 5,000 to 4,000. I mean, this will be, they'll continue to process up to the late, up to close to the end of this year, right? So, and there is some wording that this quota will include the new visa as well, in the later half of the year. Some wordings that are, or some sections that are worth mentioning. Here, the BIP, you can see there, will stop officially in July, but it was pretty much it has not opened for the last 2 years from a quota perspective anyway, but yeah, it will officially end this program in July 2024. And, of course, the wordings at the bottom saying that 188 visa applications that have been lodged will continue to be processed. So that means that, the government will continue to honor those applications and go through. And you see in the last paragraph, people who are already holding 188 visa will definitely still continue their pathway to 888 PR, right? Even after in the new year. So that is the news for BIP 188 visa holders. And then the new global talent visa, you can see here, there will be a move to this visa targeting high-performing entrepreneurs, major investors, and global researchers. I mean, this is very interesting. Very much so. Sometimes there's a change of the visa name, but the essence or the actual applicant types may be similar. Like you see here, entrepreneurs could reference the old 188A category, but maybe there's certain types of sectors that they may introduce that has to be in certain targeted sectors. Major investors, some here when it says major investors, it does kind of allude to the 188C kind of category in the past, whether or not they will increase the price there or maybe have some kind of fixed allocations to certain asset types possibly, and then global researchers, right? So I think here it will be very interesting to see this new global or this innovation visa and more kind of information to be released in the coming months. I think there is kind of my key takeaways of some of the changes and that were announced these 2 days. And definitely we will keep you in touch and updated, as we have more information. Thank you very much.